I got to teach somebody the Bone Dragon North thing this past week.
Ooh.
We're having a really, really bad Labyrinth of the Agents round. Like, it was just going really badly, and nobody was pulling the dragon anywhere. So I'm like, put it aside. I'm like, no, we're on Leviathan, or we're on Primal. You got to pull it north. Go north. Like, that's a thing? Yeah, it's a thing. Know your culture, man.
Know your culture.
Know your culture. Come on.
Hello and welcome to the Carbuncle Chronicle, your podcast for everything awesome in Final Fantasy XIV. I'm Basil. I portray a Lullafell summoner named 4K REDACATED on Leviathan.
I'm Anna. I play a Lullafell dancer named Cormier REDACATED on Leviathan.
And I'm Tobias. I am Nanawai Silvestri, another Lullafell paladin, but God, I really want to be a female Hrothgar now.
Right?
I don't blame you.
They look real
It's going to
good.
be so hard to not use that Fantasia.
That's what the benchmark's for.
That's true.
That's how I made my male Viera. That you get that out with the benchmark.
Get it out of your system.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying I'm not going to Fantasia at some point, depending on how I feel once I make a Cormia version of a Femroth, but that's getting ahead of ourselves.
It is, but it is true that eventually there will be a benchmark. That's probably in a few months whenever they do the media tour. That'll probably coincide. But you'll be able to save all the character data. Now, something to think about before we really get into other details. The benchmark will probably also be our first chance to play with the updated graphics for character creation.
Ooh, that's right.
So that's something to look forward to. But before we really get into the meat of things, last night, us and a bunch of our friends over on the Axe of the Blood God Charlian Dropout side, we all ran around and did stuff in Bajia, in the southern front, and that was really Tobias's first endeavors in the big open endeavor. So how was that for you?
Wow, a little confusing. I've done a little bit of Eureka, not really a whole lot. I think I'm level 11 or 12 or something in Eureka Orthos. No, not Eureka Orthos, Eureka Anemos. The wrong one.
It's a completely different type of content.
But this one is very different. There was a lot of cutscenes and a lot of quests before you could even get into it, which is different than Eureka. And even once we got into it, y'all were running around doing stuff, and I still had to do more dialogue and more cutscenes before I could do any of it. So there was it's kind of confusing in that way. I do think I like the general story setup, though. I've never really jived with Eureka being this magical ether island. It's okay, but not really my thing. But having a Bozia set in front being on a battlefield, it was pretty badass, I feel like. And us running around and basically starting the the skirmishes, triggering the skirmishes by picking little fights. I think that was really interesting. And I know that's basically how it works in Eureka, right? You fight things to trigger the big fights.
Yeah.
But it just felt like we were doing more of it in this one, or it had more direct effect, I feel like.
Yeah, I think I agree. I liked the story of Eureka better just because I like Chryle a lot, and she's a big focus on it, and I like learning more about that. However, I do think I enjoyed Bajia and Zadnor more than Eureka. I feel like it was way smoother, which by that point they had done Eureka. They had sort of worked out a lot of those issues. And yeah, I think Bajia was a lot better in terms of that, which I don't like field explorations at all. I'm not the demographic for it, but I will do it. It was fun at the time. It was fun doing it last night with everyone. I hadn't been in there in a long time. So, it was a lot of fun getting to do that with y'all. And I think that's the point, is it's if you do it with people, it's more enjoyable, which I did it with Basil. It was, enjoyable enough. But again, it's just not my thing. But it's fun to do every now and then. So I'm excited that you're getting into it and getting to go through it. I think you'll enjoy a lot more of the story later once we can get you further.
It's definitely been interesting because so much of the other 14 content is pretty much done through Duty Finder. You don't have to really look for that interaction so much. It's done for you. But you go into either Eureka or Bosnia, like you have to party up with people. You have to really read the room, as it were. At some point, I guess I pulled some other guy's kills, and he had sent me a PM. I was like, "Hey, don't steal my kills, man!" Like I didn't know what I'm doing the first time. It just felt like very. It was just kind of like because it's more of a traditional MMO. Like not that that's worse or anything, but it's different, and like having to rewire my brain outside of traditional, duties and trials and stuff. I think it's a bit of a hurdle I'm having to overcome, but I like what's there. I think it's interesting what they've done.
Yeah, Eureka and Bosnia are kind of their own little worlds with their own little different gameplay mechanics. It is more of their own little ecosystems, their own little leveling, their own, with the variant actions and the Eureka equivalent. There's definitely more room to play with, and so but I also do really feel that in a lot of ways Bosnia is Eureka 2.0. They took a lot of lessons from Eureka, and all the systems wise I think work much better in Bosnia. So I know that they did in the keynote for the Tokyo FanFest, they did, Yoshida finally went, yes, we are working on a new exploratory zone. Yes, that is something that is going to be happening. Didn't get any more details about it, but I think if we get a quality story, which I'm pretty sure we will, that's one of my least worries in a Final Fantasy XIV anything. But give me the updated and improved upon gameplay systems that Bosnia introduced, and then give me all the colors that Eureka got to have and Bosnia did not. I think we could have a really, really good thing. And I remember I really thought it was funny when Yoshida talked about it, and he was like, I remember when everyone really hated Eureka. All we got were no any complaints about Eureka. And I'm like, yes, same. The fact that everyone's like, why didn't we have an exploratory zone and Endwalker? And I'm like, when did y'all like this? When I liked it, but when did all y'all's like it? Where were y'all? Where were y'all then? Because you weren't there then. Apparently you're here now.
They were complaining about it then, like they're complaining about things now.
You know what would be cool? This is just Mika throwing it out there. I think it would be awesome if the new exploratory zone is Vanadil or Vanadil themed, since they're already doing an AR series or Alliance Raid series, and since this is already FF11 inspired anyway, just give us like a segment of Vanadil to run around at and more fan service.
I do wonder if, and I will state this now, are something I keep meaning to do, and I need to start introducing this into our actual planning documents for individual episodes. I want to up top give the spoiler warnings for things and how much levels of spoilers you're getting. I'm also thinking I want to start using essentially the equivalent of hot wing heat levels, where this is going to be medium to spicy, just depending on what we're talking about. Like, for example, here's a spicy one. There were a few things that Emmett Selk told us right before Endwalker wrapped for the main storyline quest. And one of them was in Northern Authard. And I wonder if that's going to be the site of the exploratory zone.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I just wrapped up the 5.5 MSQ, and they replay that part, the MS Oaks laundry list, and they specifically mentioned that part. I didn't think of it back then, but they did say that, Northern Authard. You're right.
Look, Emmett is always going to be spoiling things for us. So yeah, that's a great thing to think about.
Because the first thing was the Estinian treasure map dungeon.
Yeah.
Then the second part is in Tyrol, where we're going, and then there's this third one he mentioned in the icy area, Northern Authard.
Yeah.
So it would not surprise me that that could be the spot, because that's still in the sort of areas where Bosnia and Ivalice is all there. That's all in there too. I think it's more southern, but still, it's there. So I could definitely see that being a thing. I don't know if it's going to be more Ivalice content. I don't know what Matsuno is really planning on doing. I know he still likes 14. I know he still plays 14. So he even did a little video for the 10th anniversary. And he likes writing content for 14. He is not like, Sakaguchi, who is like, no. You don't pull me into this. I'm busy playing your game. Don't you? I don't want spoilers. No. Don't you? I ain't like I'm playing it, and I'll drag your tank busters on top of Yoshi-p, but don't you put me in charge of any story. I want to enjoy it. I'm busy not giving Basil a Switch version of Fantasian. So, but what we are talking about is, in fact, all the Tokyo FanFest revelations, all the announcements from the Tokyo FanFest that happened, just a few weeks ago? As of recording?
2 weeks, I believe, yeah.
Yeah. It feels weird because we just also recently we got released patch 6.55, which is the second big chunk of all the storyline bits before 7.0 and going into Dawntrail and whatnot. So having the Tokyo FanFest, then a week later, we've gotten this big content drop. Now it feels like, oh man, we're playing catch up. Man, FanFest was so long ago.
We would have had this out sooner, but I got sick. Like really sick, and I could not talk. Even now, it's hard to talk without coughing, but yeah, it's my fault that we didn't get to record it sooner. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Again, it's only been like 2 weeks ago since we're recording this now. It's not been that long. It just feels weird because they were like, yeah, here's the stuff. Okay, now here's the patch. And we've been sort of eating good for the month of January. We've eaten real good. But speaking of eating real good, we finally got the full version of the CG trailer.
And I called a lot of it, except sadly, my Alphino prediction was incorrect. But I was correct on a lot of it, and I'm very happy. It was a great trailer. The music, I cannot wait to get that track. I want to listen to it on repeat from now for the next 6 months until Dawntrail comes out. And then I'll hear it all throughout the expansion, because Soken, Amanda, the Primals, Keiko, everyone involved, like they do such a great job with music in general, but that was so good.
I'm really interested as to when they announce was singing, who did the Dawntrail theme, because
it's Amanda. She posted a video about it already.
Well,
yeah.
Well, I mean, half of it is a male voice. Right?
Oh, yeah. It sounds like the Primals to me. I don't know if they got like Jason Charles Miller or anyone.
I don't know. Because I know the Footfalls is like sung by somebody different, completely different from the project to do the the part of it. So I'm kind of interested to hear who sung the first half here.
Yeah.
I will say, for having heard this song like 50 billion times at the NA FanFest, I do kind of miss the Fur of the Fool theme. Like, I get they couldn't do like a 10-minute long video with the whole song, but there's just so much here, and they added so much to this latest trailer near the end that we didn't even know about. So it just feels like it's so full of information.
Yeah, and I still enjoyed watching Estinian complete a fate, using his knockback prevention.
Yeah, he uses arm's length. They keep building on the scene from 6.4 with the push-ups and him, dripping. They keep building on that, and I appreciate it a lot. Especially with the new graphics and everything.
They also, are keeping up with the ultimate bromance that we always forget about, which is anchored in the Nutkin.
Yes. I enjoy seeing the Nutkin again.
Look, even though the Nutkin did not reveal Kryle's a Beastmaster like I knew it would, that Nutkin has something to do. There's no reason they have Nutkin there. The Nutkin doesn't pay off in the game itself. I'm saying it now. The Nutkin is going to mean something, man.
I need to do the entire expansion with that minion out.
And then at the end, oh man, I was actually showing the trailer to Umi, and I guess he had not watched the second FanFest trailer because he didn't realize quite what Viper actually was.
Oh.
And he was like, wait, what's this? What's this? I had to pause it and go, what do you mean, what's this? And he's like, what that? That on the screen. What is that? I'm like, oh, it's Viper. What's Viper? The new job. And then you keep watching, he goes, is that a swallow? Is that a fucking swallow? What? I'm like, yeah. I was like, yeah, Viper. It's the thing. It's going along with Ninja, where you get two swords and you can make it one sword. But it's a swallow. Like it's like my two favorite fantasy weapons. One's a scythe, which we got with Reaper, and now they're giving me a swallow. And I was like, yes, and he's, I'm already, and this goes on to the last one. He's like, I'm already excited to play Pictomancer. And yeah, like, sorry, Green Mages, your class, yes. It doesn't really exist. Like, Green Mage is such a whiff of it's like a soupçon of a concept. It's not anything.
I never jumped on the train. I did not want it. I was so happy to not see a hint of Green Mage anywhere.
Man, they're dead. Quick, kicking him. He's dead already.
Nope, I'm so excited. Everybody was like, no, it's Green Mage. No, I'm like, no, I know, never. I did not want Green Mage. I never thought it was Green Mage. I was so excited. And I knew it was going to be Cryle. When the music changed and we saw the little rainbow stuff going across the screen in front of Graha and his taco, and she pops up, I was so happy. I was so excited. She looks so cute, and I love her, and I love everything I've seen about this job so far. And I didn't know anything about Realm. Like, I've never played 6. I knew of the name Realm because Basil has a minion because he stole it from me. But
yeah, no. When she pops up, like, the sound I made, I yelped. Like, it was just a guttural sound, like of excitement when I saw the palette.
It was so well done. It was a great reveal, and she got more than like Dancer did. Like, it was very similar to how Dancer revealed, but she got such an extended little scene, and I loved it. And she was wearing the earring. I don't know if that was like. I'm excited to see what the earring does mean, because she is wearing it in the trailer, and as you'll see later, she does wear it later in the MSQ. Like, so I'm excited to know what it means.
For sure. Now we know it's not Green Mage.
Of the shot just thought of her like with a paintbrush and her palette and everything is just like. Tobias, is accusing me of kicking a dead Green Mage when it's down, but that money shot right there of like, eat it, bitches. Cryle's in this now.
And I will say, and Yoshi-p confirmed this later, I was so excited because I said at North American Fan Fest, once all the theories started going, I was like, well, I like the idea of it being a hint for a caster with the artist names. But I mean, it could be the melee too, because you have like the 2 swords, but then you have the staff, and Yoshi-p freaking confirmed the shirt was a hint for both jobs, and I was right. I had been right.
Yeah, you get so they like student scene, and you sort of look over the rest of Tulial, and you see both sort of continents. The way it sort of expands, from the Pictomancer reveal up into North and South, they're all just it's so great.
So pretty. I'm telling you that I'm with Basil. We better be fighting Greg on that bridge. There better be a trial where we fight Greg and Enkidu on that bridge.
Well, yeah, they're bringing Hildebrand back. Yeah,
we haven't seen Greg in so long.
You're giving us a big bridge. There better be a battle on that bigger bridge. Like it's the biggest bridge we've seen yet. There best be a battle on it, and if we're doing a battle on a big bridge, then we gotta have Gilgamesh. Like that's just how it be.
And we can get a whole other remix of the song. Add to the pile of all the remixes of the song.
I've never counted how many versions there are on Theatrhythm, but all of them are terrible and make me want to cry because I have the hardest time with them getting my perfect triple S combos. But I'm down for it. I will take another one because I'm so excited.
I mean, didn't they put out that CD like a year or so ago of just big bridge remixes?
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it's a CD of just remixes of that song, so we can add one
That's
more to
amazing.
The pile. Dawntrail.
I'm down for it, you know? But then, you know, like you said, we see all of that and everything, and then, you know, we thought that was the last big surprise of the trailer. Nope. Because we gotta go back to the boat, and they show us Alphino. We're all looking at Alphino going, do you have a mustache? Do you have a beard? Do you have the Archon symbol? Are you taller? No, nothing's new with you. Okay, then why were they hiding you? And then Arenville does his little thing of, oh, well, remember why we're really going here? It's not just for fun. And then we see everyone's favorite new character, the new waifu, the new mommy. And she's so pretty. And I love her.
Wu Clamot.
Yes.
Pretty great. This is the second Yelp I made seeing this that night.
And we all said, well, the most obvious reason we didn't see Alphino was, oh, well, he's standing next to Legs. You know, the character that showed up at the end of 6.4, no one knew, or 6.5. End of 6.5. You know, it's just pair of legs. Well, why, you know, oh, it's a new character. Why didn't we see her? Maybe it's a Femroth. It was a Femroth.
Yeah.
Finally got a lion lady.
Yes.
And we're getting lion ladies in the expansion.
Easiest guess, but still, like, really great. Just love to see it, CD.
Oh, yeah. I mean, sometimes the easiest guess is the one you want. I mean, you know, that's, they've been telling us we're getting Femroth for so long. I love hrothgals. I love that that's the new term. They've told us we were getting them for so long, and everyone's been worried, and everyone's been not sure about how they'll look, and I love them. I think they did a great job, and I'm excited to see the mass amounts of hrothgals that we're gonna get while playing Dawntrail, because everybody's getting a free Fantasia. So many people are gonna Fantasia to them, and I'm excited to see it.
I'm just also pointing out that the official term we're using here for the podcast is lion ladies.
Hrothgal! I mean, lion lady's good too.
Like, we're all about alliteration over here. Like, there's a reason why it's called the Carbuncle Chronicle.
Yeah.
Look, my name is Basil Perchekis. I was born with a comic book hero name. Alliteration is literally been born into me. So
there's no way you weren't going to be a Lalafell. Like, knowing their naming conventions and everything, it's all about alliteration. Like, you were just, it was ingrained from the get-go.
You're not wrong.
Good trailer.
It was, although I'm sad now thinking about it that we didn't get the Slugger job.
Because they were in the Tokyo Dome and baseball was the theme?
Because they were in the Tokyo Dome, baseball was the theme.
I mean, you get a long stick that's close enough to a bat.
a warrior should get a bat as a weapon.
Hey, I'm okay with that. I will gladly take a bat for a warrior weapon, along with my new rescue. I mean, what?
I say you got a bat in the Hildebrand quest. You got a new baseball reference.
That's true. We got some baseball in the new Hildebrand, but that's for next week's podcast.
So yeah, we got Yoshida coming out in his baseball jersey. Cannot wait for the hat to come in. Anyways,
I know. I don't know when our hat will come in.
Oh yeah, I got the hat.
We got the towel too.
Nice.
If I had a place to wear the jersey, I would have bought one. But I don't ever have like a good place to wear it.
You see, you gotta wait to have your sports theme at work.
Right. Well, I have my Braves jersey for that.
That's true. So, Yoshida comes on stage, and they immediately get into Pictomancer. They show us the really cute, super neat trailer for it that brings forth all the Splatoon energy.
Definitely.
With wearing the Realm stuff as the artifact gear, which looked really, really good. Mm-hmm. And that looks like it's going to be a fun, magical range DPS job where you get a big old brush and a palette, and you paint your enemies into submission, and also have like a random painted Moogle that like blasts energy at them.
Someone was saying it's supposed to be, is it Mog from 6?
Could be,
like that's an homage to Mog from
be.
6. Yeah, that's what a lot of people were speculating, that it was that.
I'm really thinking, since we don't really know how the job plays yet, I kind of think it's going to be a caster samurai, and that you're painting combos to do certain parts of a picture, and then once you complete the picture after 2 or 3 combos, you release something.
Yeah, but I wonder if it seemed to also have very much some like red mage type, because you saw in the video we see like a stone spell and an ice spell. So I wonder if it's like it kind of mixes like red mage and black mage. I'm really interested to see how it plays. Like the job showcase is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, just insofar as like the way that it builds up, because the way Yoshida was saying that it, like you have to take time to build up a picture. So I'm wondering if it's going to play something similar to Samurai, where you're taking time to get your your stickers.
Yeah, I would rather it be Samurai more than Ninja in terms of combos.
Right.
My theory is, and we'll find out, this is just purely speculation, is that the way the gameplay is going to be is that, like Samurai or Ninja, where it'll be a bunch of instant casts to prep a big spell, and then your cast bar time will be a few seconds to then unleash the spell that you've concocted with your painting. And the different what colors you've used or what picture you've painted will be the kind of damage spell that you unleash. Mm-hmm. That's my theory.
I like that.
Then they talked about the patch that already exists. So congratulations to everyone, we got there.
Yay!
And that'll be its own podcast.
The one disappointing thing to Pictomancer is that Yoshi-p wasn't wearing the outfit on the stage.
It's true.
Yeah. He was like, you guys don't want to see my midriff. You guys,
we do.
50-year-old man.
We do.
I think it would have been fun. I know some people were being very, I don't know, a lot of people were talking about how him not wearing the gear was him saying it was more of a feminine job, and it shouldn't, he shouldn't be wearing it because he's not feminine. I'm like, that's not. No, he always wears one cosplay. Usually it's usually the first one that's announced. And I like that they did the cosplay person. I like that they got someone to create it, and that they were the ones to be able to show it off. Like I don't know. I didn't think it was him commenting on anything other than he already wore one. He didn't want to wear another one.
He didn't want to dress. He didn't feel comfortable dressing up in it, and that's fine. But I pay my sub every month, Yoshi-p. Give me your midriff.
I'd also point out that the artwork that they posted for it is a male Makote.
Yeah.
In the artifact gear.
That's again why I don't understand why people were.
Also, Yoshida had a normal ass dude haircut this time. He wasn't rocking the J-Rock hair, and that was confusing. It was He looked like someone who should be a middle manager in Yakuza, like a dragon game.
Well, you've always said that character looks like a younger Yoshida, so.
It was really weird when he was also like in a suit and tie for PvP. I'm like, you look way too normal now. I don't get this. That felt weird.
Part of me wonders if he had some other meetings or something going on in the middle of FanFest that he had to be like super professional for.
Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. What I also got to saw were areas of Tyrol.
That it looks so pretty.
They showed off a new video with, showing off all the new landscapes and things we'll be going around in. Showed off a cool, like, merry-go-round.
Oh, yeah.
And then he decided to go. They also mentioned that Tyrol is made up of, essentially 2 continents. We got North America and South America, so we'll be going to Mexico and Texas. And other places. They've also got the long bridge that connects the two.
I just want to say that's my big gotcha. This one, I called that. I called North Tyrol. I called South Tyrol. That's my thing. I'm excited about.
I was really glad that was the other continent. Like, because I know Basil and I have been saying from a while that we didn't want Mericidia to be the other one because then it would feel very Stormblood and that it was way too split. So I'm excited that it's very connected like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Even though he did mention that it sounds like we are going to the journey into North Tyrol will be more of a story shift. So I have a feeling we'll be doing a bunch of the Southern Tyrol stuff, then moving up to North Tyrol for like the meat of the storyline bits, which makes sense because around that area is a new zone that threw everybody off called Solution 9.
Cyberpunk, I'm right.
I used to call like the weird stuff that we would see in Final Fantasy XVI as, oh, it's the cool Allegan stuff. But no, now I've seen the actual cool Allegan stuff.
Right.
Or it could be new cool agent stuff. Who knows?
I just can't wait to figure out what it is, why it's there. Like, how the hell have we seen, all this sort of Mesoamerica sort of aesthetic so far until we get to Neo Toronto, as it looks to be? Like, how? I just want to know how it's there, why it's there.
And why is there a sign that says Soul Supply on it?
Wait, what?
We do know that it uses like the proto-ancient. It's like the ancient script they're using for a lot of the ancient stuff. The proto-Eorzean script. So there is that, but there was a sign that on that in the proto-Eorzean script it said Soul Supply.
Ooh.
So who knows what's going down. But something's going down, like in some dungeons, because they showed off some more dungeons.
And they also showed a screenshot. It looked like it was an area beneath that area that was very Midgard looking.
Yeah. They mentioned that the purple Levin electricity was what allowed a lot of these things to happen and technology to advance in a different rate. But we'll see also who, again, could there be other ancients? Could this be the work of a different Ascian? We haven't seen all of them. So, or it could have been like an offshoot of Allegans. Lord knows, Allegans are everywhere. Just last night we were talking about how there's in fact an Allegan spaceship that just sort of crash landed on the moon.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be all sorts of explanations for why we get to play, in a take you back to Cyberpunk City. So we'll see. Like there was a part of me that was kind of sad they showed it off because I feel that would have been a really cool thing to just walk in on without knowing what it was and being extra thrown. But I also know that they're very good at, while they will spoil a little bit of stuff here and there, I still know that the real big spoilers, the real, oh shoot moments they still hold to their chest that we won't see until we actually play the game. So if they're willing to show us this much, I don't know what they're actually waiting to show us.
Exactly. Right. So many questions. I loved it because I can tell that there's so many things left unanswered.
Which is great because we just beat the game. We walked to the end. We saved the universe from the ultimate forces of despair. Where in the world, what else can they do? How much do they have in the chamber? And they pull this to be like, yo, we got plenty. Don't worry about it.
Man, what if there's another, like, Heart of Sabik in there?
Oh, God.
Like a Heart of something else. Like another Zodiac thing from Tactics. Like, oh, man. There's just so many questions, and, like, my mind is racing of all these potential explanations, and what could it mean, man? I cannot wait.
And what I can't wait for is Garlean Restoration. I mean, no, not Garlean. No, they're still stuck where they are. No, we're going to restore the cosmos.
We're going to go fix everything Medium broke.
Yeah, we're getting a new larger slice of life content, quote unquote. It's called Cosmic Exploration.
It's firmament in space.
Yeah, like they showed off it on the moon, but they're saying that we're going to all sorts of different planets because they felt it would be boring to just have everything on the moon. So they wanted a lot of variety to the scenery.
I'm excited about it. I mean, I know that's like more crafting, which means probably some expert crafting, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Could there be new titles to work for?
Probably. Saint of the Cosmos.
They heard you like Island Sanctuary. It's like, oh, how about Lunar Sanctuary?
Right. Hey, I'm down with it. And he's gonna, you're throwing out space, and I'm gonna be like, yes.
I'm now wondering because when Ishgardian Restoration led, directly to the concept of having Ishgardian housing. Now, I don't know if we'll get cosmic housing or just moon housing, but I do wonder if one could dream that cosmic housing could be them finally being like, all right, y'all, here it is, instant housing.
I mean, they hinted at that the living quarters on the moon, being under renovation, so that could possibly be part of it.
Get to live in Smileton.
Like, I could see, depending on how this works, because, again, all we have is that it's called Cosmic Exploration and that it's a, quote, slice of life content that can be done solo, but really it's really meant to be done with people and then the artwork. But I could absolutely see after everything's over, and this is probably more of a 8.0 expansion thing, much like how Ishgardian housing happened in Dawntrail, even though we unlocked it in Shadowbringers.
Endwalker.
In Endwalker, sorry. Right. We had Ishgardian Restoration and Shadowbringers. So, and then in Dawntrail, we had Ishgard. No, shoot, I did it again. In Endwalker, we had Ishgardian housing. So I could totally see, after we have explored the cosmos, that in the next expansion, they give us the potential of you pick your instance housing in the locale of the planet of your choice. And that's why it's instance, because they're all on different planets. So that's their excuse of why they're not in new housing districts and that they are instanced, so that they have a actual lore, storyline, RP reason for why it's different from quote-unquote normal housing. That's my personal theory of what could happen.
I can see that.
Try not to get my hopes up, but that's a cool idea you got there.
Well, clearly now Kiyoshida has to listen to this podcast eventually.
Clearly.
But someone who might also listen to this podcast is our pal and buddy Sevian, who should be really excited that we got our first big actual key art for Echoes of Vana'diel, and there sure is a Shadow Lord there.
Somebody had pointed out that in the key art they have, the background, there's some sort of like geographical structure. Structure is probably not the right word, but whatever.
The circle. Apparently, that's. I believe.
In the second,
Mr. Happy mentioned that is like that symbol is what appears during like to take you into instances or something, like to take you into certain.
No, I'm not talking about that one. The key art. I'm talking about the sort of Amano style key art.
That one.
There's like I don't know. There's probably a word for it. Geography nerds hit me up in the comments, but it ties directly into something in the second expansion for 11. So we're getting little crumbs of information here. Like we still don't know what the Alliance raid is going to be, but we know the Shadow Lord is going to be there. We kind of figured it, but whatever. We have confirmation the Shadow Lord is going to be there. We've got confirmation this area is probably going to be there in one of the raids at least.
But is it going to have graphics cards? Because
you're going to need a new graphics card.
You know what is going to have graphics cards? It's the Arcadian, where even Yoshida himself was like, "Yeah, it kind of looks like a graphics card, huh?"
Yep.
This is the hardware tie-in for the new computers you'll need to upgrade just to play this game.
And in the key art, there is a symbol that looks suspiciously like a sigil for an Ascian, and I know a lot of people have said it looks similar to Ultima's, so maybe we'll get some more info on the MIA Ascians that we've never met. I'm down for it. I know a lot of people are ready to be done with them, but I am all for it.
I could see that, actually.
I remember, I think it was during our FanFest in North America FanFest, where Yoshida and Ishikawa were talking about, like, yeah, people complain that we tend to fall back on like Alligans and Ascians like all the time. And they more or less went, yeah, we do that. So anyways, I really do wonder if, yeah.
I was going to say that we did know, like, Diana was right. There's some missing Ascians, like, that people have been wondering about. So if they instigated whatever the hell Solution 9 is, I mean, hell, I know that Solution 9 is a FF, 9 reference, but
9.
Solution 9, what, like, those words mean things. Like, why is the city called Solution 9? We already had the 8 rejoining that we stopped. Like, would this have been the potential 9th rejoining? Were they planning for the 9th rejoining? Like, is this what this is? There's so many questions, man.
I mean, hey, if you know that Gaius is going around killing Ascians, you get the hell out of Dodge. Why not go to the New World? He ain't there.
I do think it's funny looking at it now. The key art, they don't call it Arcadian with an N in the Japanese, just Arcadia. So my joke earlier about being Captain Harlock reference is even more pertinent.
I just want to play like Rad Racer. Let's really dig deep into the ancient Square lore. Let's play some of the old, more arcadey Square games. Yeah, maybe grab the Power Glove. It's so bad. Like it'd be a good time.
Everybody talks about snowboarding, wanting snowboarding, from the original Gold Saucer. I want that little Moogle game where you just had a little Moogle in his house. What was it called? Mog House, right?
I mean, that is going to be much like probably snowboarding, but it is going to be in the 7 remake, Rebirth, that's coming out in February. I believe that is one of the mini games that's going to be in the gold saucer there. So you are going to get it, but I don't know if it's going to be in 14 or not. But that's a possibility. Of course, snowboarding in 14 is mostly because Yoshida really likes snowboarding, and apparently he's had whole thoughts on snowboarding and how he wants, if he does, like, if we do implement snowboarding, we'll also have to make snowboards that can be created by crafters, and then you have to gather the wood to make the snowboards out. He has a full thing in his brain on, if they do it, just how much work is going to have to go into making it happen. And I'm like, well, we've got Northern Tural just sitting over there. It's right.
Apparently there's a snow area because someone mentioned it in a cutscene.
Someone, not saying any names. Hades.
No, not Hades. Again, this gets into the next podcast we're doing, but Wooklemot, when we go to the Isle of Ham, she mentions, this is very similar to Yogg-Tural, and we've not seen a snowy area yet be shown.
That's correct, yeah.
No, for once, it's not Hades I'm talking about.
For once.
Although, it was the Blind Frost that is in Northern Authored.
Well, there's two.
Yeah.
Okay. So they mentioned the one I was referring to, sure, but yeah, you're right that Wooklemot. And that's another thing. They never say one name or the other. Do we know that it's a first name, last name situation, or do we have to say Wooklemot every single time?
Yeah, I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
I guess so.
Now, a storyline we don't have to find out about because we know essentially what the story beats will be of it theoretically is that, like Anna said, speaking of new raids, we do know that the next Ultimate raid, they will be focusing on the Eden raid series. They're referring it to the Futures Rewritten Ultimate, and they showed the key art of Gaia and Reen.
Gosh, we're gonna get Light Rampant and Universal Manipulation together, and it's gonna suck, and it's gonna be amazing. That I've not been excited for an Ultimate since Ultimate Weapon. That was the one that got me really excited, and this one I would love to do. It would be hard, but I'm excited, and this is one I'm also just excited to watch the World Race because I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Because Reen and Guy are two of my favorite characters, and that's just going to be so much fun to watch.
I want them to make the gay canon. Make it canon. Don't beat around the bush. Don't hint at it heavily. Don't wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Tell us. Make them kiss.
Gosh, yeah, it cracked me up that Roommates Ultimate was trending, and I'm like, come on. They're girlfriends. They go on dates.
Again, talking about spicy spoilers. The end of Eden is their big aetheryte thing. At the middle of the empty. Literally turns into a rainbow.
Yep.
Yeah.
They explode. They more or less holding hands. They explode out of it together, like it's the end of Utena of the Adolescence movie. Come on, this. The only way they could further state it out loud is for them to make out on screen, which I am also fine with. If people need that level of, yes, they are together, deal with it, make that next step.
Yeah.
It didn't stop you in 16, so...
That's true, yeah. The explanation I had heard is that initially they really didn't do it because 14 is still sold in countries where that's a bigger issue. And that would be, an issue for them to sell the subscription-based game in those countries. But obviously, like you said, the 16 being what it is, they've already crossed that threshold, as it were. So why don't go ahead and backtrack it here at 14 as well?
Or if they have to be, just give us a short story, whatever. Just make it happen. But they are making it happen. Beastmaster. They can do a limited job. It's going to be Beastmaster.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is the most obvious one they could pick. I'm pretty sure I was mentioning before, I don't think it's going to be Beastmaster because that was too obvious. He even mentioned it In the previous FanFest of going like Beastmaster, I think it was our FanFest again. He was like limited job, yeah. Oh, Beastmaster. Like he said out loud on stage as a question. I'm like, oh well, clearly it's not be Beastmaster. He's already acknowledged it. No, it's Beastmaster. Totally is.
We get Pokemon in 14.
Man, I hope. It'll be cool. It'll be really curious because I remember back in the day when I used to play WoW. My buddy Eric would he play Hunter, and I would go out with him to help him hunt his various mobs. Because in WoW, at least at the time, I don't know if it is in modern WoW anymore, but you would actually have to go out and find a random mob in the world, and you would have to trap it. It was much like Pokemon, where you had to whittle it down its health and then trap it. And if you were able to land a more rare enemy, then you actually got slightly better stats than if you gotten a regular enemy. So I'm really curious to see how they do the whole Beastmaster thing, if that's remotely going to be something similar in 14, and how are they going to do it.
I'm really excited to see who in our Blue Mage group goes Beastmaster.
I think my first inclination would be that it would be like Blue Mage and that you collect monsters and then just kind of summon them. But I do think, kind of going what you're saying off the WoW example, I think it'd be interesting if you had to capture one and had to raise that one, and if you wanted to start fresh, you had to release it. So I would like for them to do something similar to, because it's a limited job, but also really different than Blue Mage.
I was telling Basil, I'm a terrible gamer, I guess. I've had one interaction in my entire life with Beastmaster. And it is from the original run of Yu-Gi-Oh! The season 0 or the first 7 volumes in the manga. The end of that series, there's a D&D game and the characters get sucked into it. And Yugi's character is a Beastmaster. So I just mentally picture, because he has these hands and they capture the monster, and then it makes the monster be nicer, be on his side. And so that's my only interaction with Beastmaster. So one, my Yugi alt will become a Beastmaster. 2, that is my only experience with it. So I'm sitting there going, yeah, you catch them and you have a magic power that makes them on your side now. So it's gonna be interesting for me to see how it works in 14.
And then also went through a bunch of the graphics updates, as they are wont to do, where they showed off even more things they have updated since the last time they gave us updates on them. So you really just could see this in all different ways a Lalafell can have a chin. It was glorious.
It cracks me up every time they show Lalafels, because people are like, there's no change. And it's yes, because we are perfect. We are already perfect. There's not going to need to be anything majorly different with us in the graphics update, because we're already perfect.
Exactly.
I was thinking more no, you see those pixels right over there? Those pixels right over there? Look, those are smoother. Do you see those polygons? Those are, oh my god! Y'all don't even know.
I mean, my hero's already pretty, so I'm excited to see how more pretty she gets.
Something I thought was really interesting, how they mentioned that they were always disappointed on how the light wouldn't really scatter properly on darker skin tones, and that was something they worked really hard to make sure it looked better with the graphics update. I know a lot of folks that like playing characters with darker skin tones were really excited to see that they were putting that much thought and effort into something they didn't think would happen.
Yeah, that was a really good jump for them.
Going back and just how important it was for Yoshida to go into the German naming conventions of Pictomancer, and how it wasn't the original German name for Pictomancer made sense as far as drawing a monster, if memory serves, but it didn't really inspire the actual how Pictomancer would actually play, and so they changed the name of Pictomancer to being Pictomancer, and not what the German translation used to be, but they're also going forth and now changing the German word for Pictomancer to be Pictomancer. Like they're changing it, period.
Like in the Pixel remasters, they'll go back and patch it.
Yeah. Like there is now, it's a new translation, and he felt it was important enough that even though it's just for one language, he wanted to go in depth. It's like, no, y'all, look, this is why we're doing this, and we want you to understand exactly the thought process to this change. And it's just the name of one class that really only exists now in 14, but then in Final Fantasy VI. This something isn't really, it feels like I'm sure to most people, possibly people in Germany, not all that serious, but she is like, no, y'all, no, this is important. I really need y'all to understand why this is important. I think even Kitase near the very end, apparently he was mentioning like, yeah, he had this PowerPoint and everything about changing Pictomancer's name, and I'm like, we could have done this over like lunch or something. He didn't have to go this hard on it. And I'm hearing that like, no, this is Naoki Yoshida. He has to go this hard on it. This is just like the European FanFest when he was going into exactly why they were trying to change the things in Lalafels and how bump maps work and how graphics rendering works. Like he went into the weeds because like he wants people to understand like, no, this is why we're doing these things. He's very open as a developer, and I really appreciate how much in the weeds he's willing to get to show people what he's talking about.
Yeah, I feel like the tone that he's always have gone through, both with the FanFest keynotes, but also the live letters, like you mentioned, his role as a developer. And it's not just so much of a thing for the players. It's not, okay, here's a new trailer, here's the new thing. Like you said, it's going into the weeds a bit of sort of why this works, how this works. And it's that sort of honesty, I guess, the way he's been honest with us, that makes us sort of appreciate him a little more, appreciate the development of the game a little more, and contribute to his admittedly maybe parasocial relationship with us.
He really reminds me in this respect of Satoru Iwata.
Mm-hmm. I can see that, yeah. Absolutely.
Something I would love to see is Yoshida like dragging out other Squaresoft developers and having chats with them. Much like how he had that one chat with Sakaguchi that made Sakaguchi play 14 and fall in love with it. But it was because they wanted to have like an actual like recorded conversation. I wouldn't mind seeing him do the same thing with other developers at Square Enix.
Agree 100%. And I think another thing here, point out why he mentioned the Pictomancy job, the name change. The original name was like Duplicant, which is sort of like duplicator, basically. Mm. That's what you did in FF6. You duplicated, but he mentioned that the word duplicator in an RPG in a modern sense means like item duping. And so it would be weird to say a job, you wouldn't call Cryo a duplicator. You would call her a Pictomancer because it sounds better. So that was sort of the reasoning for the change. But I think what is interesting here is that since we know 14 is Square's moneymaker right now, it's the reason that like FF16 could be made, and it's still making more money than 16, like it or not. That's 16 wasn't the great success that he was hoping it was going to be. I kind of wonder if this is a bit of soft power on Yoshida's part. Like, hey, we're in charge. If I want to rename a job from the past, I can do that. He brings Sakaguchi on. Sakaguchi, the creator, is now buddy with him. We have Kitase coming on. They didn't even like do anything. Like there was no FF7 talk or anything. They just brought Kitase on as there. Considering how much conversation is going on about the NFTs and AI art and how the higher ups at Square are all in on it, except for Yoshida, I would love to see this be a bit of a power play. I don't need a whole takeover or anything, but I really hope that Yoshida was able to take the reins a bit and like change the culture behind the scenes at Square Enix broadly.
Something I do wonder, and this isn't really is it 14 talk per se, but I do wonder what the over-under is, because someone did bring up in one of the interviews they had with Yoshida. They asked him about if he was going to be the director / producer for Final Fantasy XVII. And first he had this big old grin on his face. But then he goes into saying how he really wonders if it shouldn't be entrusted into people younger. Mm-hmm. And so that made me wonder, what's the over-under of the scribe, the storyline writer of this potential eventual Final Fantasy 17 being Ishikawa's story?
I could see that.
We know that she's been elevated into a general story lore overseer, much like Banri Oda, who has been like the lore story overseer since 1.0. Like, he's never left. He's sort of their, human encyclopedia Eorzea, as it were. But I know that she's up there now. She has the same title. I don't know if she has the same level of story power that he does, but she certainly is up there. And I do kind of wonder, since we know that some of the people in charge of the storyline for Dawntrail, they worked on things like the Song of Warlit and the Four Lords. And okay, cool, hell yes, I love all those things. So I think Dawntrail's in great hands. But I also know that, for example, one of the reasons why Ishikawa got to step up and write things like Shadowbringers and Endwalker is because a lot of the folks that worked on the storyline for Heavensward, after Heavensward, they got moved over to writing the storyline and working on the beginnings of what became Final Fantasy XVI. And Ishikawa has had a great run between Shadowbringers and Endwalker, so it would make sense that if she did really well on those two expansions, they would also want to elevate her to writing a storyline for a mainline Final Fantasy, or at least I really want her to write another story for a mainline Final Fantasy.
Apparently there's rumor that CB3 and her especially are working on something. So I think that's why a lot of people are wondering if it could be 17, because I think that would be fun.
I would like that, because even though I love what she did with Shadowbringers and Endwalker, I do think we need some more happiness in Dawntrail. she can take a break from 14 and let us get happy again before she wrecks it completely with the next depressing story.
I think we have a good shot because of Four Lords and Warlit. I mean, Warlit was sad, but there was happiness in it, and Four Lords I think is one of the funniest stories we've seen. Mm. Those characters are great, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Though what I'm excited to see happen is to see all the servers get overrun with lion ladies, because they finally, at the very end of the keynote, they finally went, oh right, female Hrothgar thing, we should probably roll that trailer, huh? And they did, and it was very good.
I know people are worried that they can't wear hats, though the character we now know, Wuklamot, while she did not wear a hat in the trailer, once we see her in 6.55, she is wearing a turban hat. So I think that's redundant, but so she is wearing something on her head. So hopefully that bodes well, because I think their heads, I know some people were saying that they felt like their heads were smaller. I wonder if maybe that design was taken into account so they didn't have the helmet problems that Vera and male Hrothgar do. But we'll see what happens. I don't know. I have a very weird, unconventional stance that no one will like. I'm like, well, you know what? You're not going to be able to wear them going into that. So why does it matter? But I also don't like wearing hats. So I should be someone that rolls a bunny girl or a Rothgal if they can't wear hats, because I don't like wearing hats. So it doesn't bother me. But I know it does a lot of people. So hopefully they'll figure it out.
My suggestion for anybody really worried about hats, I've never had to worry about hats in this game. So my suggestion is to get your free Fantasia, turn into a Lalafell, and live your life beautifully, the best possible way as Lalafell.
Because Lalafells can wear everything, and we look adorable in everything.
Yeah, still best race. I like hrothgals, lion ladies. I like lion ladies too. But I will never turn on a lion to a lion lady. I can never change out of Lalafell. Sorry, I'll just have to appreciate the lion ladies from afar.
I'm committed. At some point, I'll be a female Rothgar for a couple of weeks. I've got a friend in the game. I promised him, look, when it becomes a thing, and I finish the expansion, I'll go female Rothgar for you for a few weeks, and I'll go back. I don't mind doing it for a little bit.
Who?
Algin.
Oh, which is funny because he hasn't even decided if he's going female Rothgar yet or not.
That's fine. I'll try it out for a little bit and then go back. It's not a big deal. Again, it's just Fantasias. It's not the big. I'm already getting one for free anyways, so might as well enjoy it.
If you, the listener, really want to see us as lion ladies, head on over to Patreon, patreon.com/awesomecast, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And if you can donate enough money, I'll change to a lion lady. How about that?
Donate enough to buy the 3-pack Fantasia, one to be able to do it and one to go back.
I'm so annoyed with Patreon because I didn't realize, apparently at some point last year, they got rid of goals as an option to list to put money towards. So I've got to figure out a new way to do goals for the Awesome Cast, because I did have like Patreon goals, but now those goals are gone because Patreon took away goals. I'm like, well, so I'm going to figure that out. That's an inside baseball thing. I will say, as far as Hatsgate goes, I'm a big believer that if they make an outfit, everyone should be able to wear that outfit, whether that is by character race, whether it's Lalafels, Rothgar, whatever, or if it's male or female or whatever. Like, everyone should be able to wear anything. This is a game about expressing your best life in this virtual game, and they shouldn't put arbitrary limits on that, especially when glam is the ultimate end game.
I agree. That is the one thing that I can say that I do have issue with, in that, anything that is new and put into the game should be able to be worn by all races, all genders, no stipulations on that. I do agree. And go back and fix things like they have been. But if it's new, it should already be done.
I do hope, since I know that the reason is with Rothgar and Vieira has to do with how they actually design the skeletons and the facial structure and all of that. Like, there's the rigging. I get it. But I'm hoping that with this graphics overhaul, this graphics update, one of the things they're doing is they are changing the underpinnings of those systems such that maybe they can start incorporating more hat wearing on a system level to make it easier for them to convert more of the new hats for everyone. I think that would be really great. I think that's one of the things that she was asked. He went on to a Japanese server like during New Year's and was just answering questions. And I believe one of the things he answered was like, "Oh yeah, we're working on stuff. Don't worry, just hold tight. We'll have things to announce soon." So hopefully that is something that they're working on, and we will hear good news in the future. Maybe during the media tour / live letter / benchmark, all that stuff. That should be happening in a few months. That's sort of the last step between now and the actual release of Dawntrail, is that like media tour, live letter, bookmark, benchmark thing. That should be like the last like big globule of info dump that we have yet to see. But I guess the last thing they actually did, or they showed us a poster, the key art, and that was very interesting because it's not just all the scions.
It's very few of the scions.
Yeah, technically there's only 4 of them, and that's including the Warrior of Light. Like we've got Chryle, Thancred, and Urianger, and then we also have Arenvel and Lamont. But we also got some other folks. Like we've got this Makote guy on the right here who could be potentially related to Lamont in some way somehow. That's a patch 6.55 discussion.
Are you saying that all the catfolk races are related, Basil? That's racist.
We got Mamul Jazinos in the very bottom, maybe, or somebody. They got probably the king guy who we were fighting in the opening trailer, and this lady at the very top who's like all like extra like white clothing and bright and looks like sort of more ethereal than everyone else. Like she definitely looks like she's got something different going on with her deal that everyone else does.
She's going to be Athena 2.0. Calling it now.
See, I was going to say Vana 2.0.
She's got some sort of green hair going near the bottom of her hair as it sort of trails into green. And I don't know if that's like supposed to be like just she's got green hair or if it's like a magical thing because it sort of matches also the green that's like in her outfit.
It means she's a green mage, Basil, of course.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, green mage. Green magic is real and it will hurt you.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, I think as far as the next thing goes, again, is media tour. So that'll be exciting to see what revelations happen there. And
you missed one thing, Basil. The release date.
What release date?
We don't have one. It's sometime before October, yeah.
That's right, before October, which means
that was a surprise for me that I was convinced because in every Japanese FanFest previously, we've been shown 1, the release date at the end of the trailer, and 2, the collector's edition. We got to see what that would entail. And we did not get that this time. And I know Yoshi-p he said that, they have a date in mind. They have an internal date. But because he had to publicly push back Endwalker by 2 weeks when it released, he does not want to do that again. And you watched him announcing that, he did not want to do that then. He does not want to do that ever again. It was very hard for him. So I know he does not want to give us a date and then have to push back. So I can understand him waiting to put out a date. And honestly, for someone that wants to purchase the collector's edition, it gives me more time to save the money, which is great because it's going to be probably $300. But yeah, I'm fine with waiting. I'm expecting mid-July. That's when the previous summer expansions have come out. I know Basil has his date that he will give us now.
September 20th, which is early access, will be that Friday. So that way the actual release can be September 24th, which is the last Tuesday of September before it turns into October. So yes, the actual release date they will announce will be September 24th because that's further. That's the end of summer, which means that if Anna's right, that means my life is that much better. All right, Tobias, yeah. What's your date?
I mean, it could be whatever. I don't particularly any week they don't release it is another week I get to do Bazia, and another week I get to level something else up in preparation. So I'm fine with whatever.
All right, so Tobias is putting himself down for August 13th, which would be right in between July and September.
Perfect. 8/13. There you go.
Save the date. So yeah, I think that was all the things. Oh, and Sakaguchi went out as a Kappa, so they can announce that the Kappa outfit got introduced. I guess in this last patch.
No, it's not in yet. My theory is we will get it for the Moogle Tombstone event before Dawntrail. That's my theory, but they have not announced when we'll get that yet.
I thought that's why he was out there in the outfit was because they were announcing it.
No, they were just. He's doing it, I think. No, it's not in the game.
Okay, cool.
Some other things they mentioned were, Xbox, we will be getting, I believe the beta begins February. So by the time this is out, if you would like to play this on Xbox soon, you'll be able to at least try it out. You can try the free trial, which you can now play up through Stormblood. And then they announced, the 14-16 collaboration, we believe will be April, is what they said.
Right.
And the 11 event, the 11 crossover is happening now. So if you have not done that and gotten that glamour outfit, you can do it now.
But yeah, there's lots of exciting things that'll be happening in Final Fantasy XIV. And there's also eventual exciting things happening here in the Chronicle, because we already know that our next episode will all be all about patch 6.55, because that just hit, and there's a lot of really good moments in that patch.
All the characters we saw and all the characters we didn't see.
It's true. And I think one of the cooler solo instances they've had in recent memory. Like, it's 6.55 was a good time, and we'll talk about it next time here in the Carbuncle Chronicle. So before we go though, now that we know almost everything there is to know before we head into Dawntrail, what are y'all excited for most, Anna?
I'm most excited for the story. That's always my favorite. I'm excited to see Wukelmot's progression, because I know we were talking before the podcast. Where she's starting now, she's definitely going to grow a lot in the expansion. I think that's going to be fun to see. And I'm also excited to see what happens between us and the Scions that aren't on our team. I'm telling you, I want a Thor Ragnarok moment with Thancred in a Colosseum battle.
Could happen. Tobias, what are you excited for?
I think likewise, I'm interested in the story, but really, I want to know what the hell is going on with Solution 9. What is up? Who is the villain? Because it can't just be, they mentioned the Mammal Xenos that you mentioned earlier, and I think they kind of hinted at him being the villain, but surely he's not going to be the real villain. Like, who could it be? Is it going to be another Ascian? Is it going to be something different? My big picture prediction is for the next few expansions rather, is going to be like Ultima. I think we're going to see more about what like Ultima really was and the Heart of Sabik and all that stuff. So like I think in my headcanon is like, how is this going to tie into that specifically? I think is the main thing. Like, what are they going to do to meet or to match the Heidelin versus Zodiac saga of the past 10 years? And all the cogs are turning in my head. Something a little more, I guess, immediate is I'm looking forward to what the next 10 levels of job abilities are going to be. We maybe got hinted at some new warrior abilities with the 6.55 patch, but like, how is my paladin going to change? Even when I go back and do Shadowbringer stuff now, like just the way Holy Sheltron's different and the way the Confiteor combo works, like it plays differently, even the past 10 levels. So what are they going to do to change it even more in the next 10 levels? Like,
that's true. I'm curious to see how Astro changes, because that's one of the two jobs that's getting a big overhaul. So I'm very interested to see how that changes.
Yeah, just like, how is the game going to feel this patch cycle? I know that they sort of, I guess, crystallize the entire burst phase sort of shtick with every job. This past expansion, like, are they going to double down on that? Are they going to double down on the trust system, the duty support system? Or I know a lot of people have complained about that and the way that homogenizes the way the game plays. Are they going to keep doing that? Are they going to try to spread it out a little more? There's so many questions here that we won't know until we actually get knee deep into this game. And man, less than a year. Let's go.
All right, Basil, so what are you most excited about, and why is it how Summoner will change again?
More complex.
I mean, yes, but also exploring Troll. I am really, really happy. I'm really happy that it's all Troll. It's all Troll. Mm-hmm. We're not like going to Raw for a little bit, then hopping over to Mercedia, then hopping over to a new area of Garlemald, then hopping over here, then maybe going back to Tyrol for a little bit. No, I'm really glad that we're getting just big old chunks of like, South Tyrol, which is York Tyrol. Yeah, York Tyrol. And then we're also getting some chunks of Zoc Tyrol and Northern Tyrol. Like I am just happy that we are just gonna be in Tyrol. Like the fact, all the zones are really, really cool. I'm excited to see what all the graphics updates do to how pretty everything can look. I am also kind of hoping that shadows don't look really weird as you sort of transition into the shadows, and suddenly things look all bright, and next thing you know, you walk 5 feet and suddenly everything's in shadow. But I don't know if the graphics update will fix that or not, but I am just new zones. I love running around new zones, exploring zones. The zones in 14, they're all big, but they're not like too big. There's enough. They do such a great job of just putting little things in here and there to just explore and look around and see what there is to see. And that's what actually I'm most excited for. I cannot wait to just experience Tyrol. Like I am been playing the game lately, and a lot of things questions are asking my Warrior of Light, and like, what do you this and what that? I'm like, every time something adventuring comes up, I've just been leaning into the adventurer side because we're about to go on a new adventure, y'all. It's gonna be exciting, and I want to see what like the Stardust Sea has, and I know there's a thing called the Shades Triangle and the Grand Shallows, and there's gonna be some good stuff. What are all the dungeons going to be like? What cool new things are to see there? There's this giant like fissure in the land in the map between York Tyrol and Zoc Tyrol. York Tyrol, Zoc Tyrol. It's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. It's going to be neat. It's going to be super good. And I want to run around it all.
Sounds good.
And also, what does a level 100 summoner bring? Because I already have Bahamut. I already have Phoenix. Last time, the level 90 thing was, we should give you those other primals that you already had, but we should give you like real versions of those. So last expansion, they completely revamped Summoner. So this is the first time they've had a chance to add on to that revamp. And where in the world are they going to take it? Frankly, I don't know. Do I get an Alexander? Do I get something else? Do I get like a bigger Bahamut? Like what else?
Lord, please don't give him a bigger Bahamut. I've already got it as small as I can.
I know they need to do another one that's like Super Bahamut and Ultra Bahamut plus Ultra. Yeah, but the Akrai is actually what I'm wondering my level 100 will be. Like you can have a rescue with Warrior. I want Akrai. That's what I want. But we'll see. So this has been the production of the Carbuncle Chronicle, a Final Fantasy podcast about Final Fantasy XIV, Final Fantasy XIV podcast, Final Fantasy podcast, Carbuncle Chronicle. You're listening to it. All right, let me try that again.
No, it's great. We're not changing that. I'm keeping that up.
What happens when I don't edit?
This has been the Carbuncle Chronicle, a production of the AwesomeCast, because it's your podcast for everything awesome, but in Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you to both Anna and Tobias for chatting with me, and for all y'all for listening. And let's see if I can do all these things off memory, because I don't actually have my list of things I usually mention at the very end. This episode is being edited by Tobias. Thank you, Tobias, once again for stepping into the editor role while Anna's still getting her hands worked on. Our theme song for the AwesomeCast is done by DJ Dabito. You can find stuff at djbeta.com. But the 14 version that we used for this one was redone by Anna. So once again, thank you, Anna. You can find us on the YouTubes now, both for the AwesomeCast and the Carbuncle Chronicle. You can also find both our podcasts on the website, awesomecast.com. There are links for everything, including our Discord, our Patreon, our TeePublic, all the things. You should totally go there. And also, I put our links to various Blue Skies. I forget, but my Blue Sky is at itsbasiltime.com, Anna, where's yours?
Mine is Angel Darkfire something .bsky.social. I'm also Angel Darkfire on Twitter as well, and I'm still on there.
And Tobias.
And I am also on Blue Sky. Just R Tobias at blah blah blah. You can search for me and find me. Easiest way.
That's right. Technically, we have AwesomeCast and Chronicle on things like Blue Sky and Twitter. I should also just mention that I have a Twitch account, also at It's Basil Time. I believe, is that Rev Tobias for your Twitch, Tobias?
Oh, yeah, just Rev Tobias with a Z. Yeah, I've been doing some streaming a little bit every now and then. I'm not really like doing it hardcore. It's just kind of a casual, you know what? I want to play a video game and I kind of want to be social at the same time. So I'll just stream in on Twitch or sometimes on the AwesomeCast Discord. I think that's the best way to find all of us, honestly, if you really want to interact with us. We're all there. We all talk. We sometimes will jump into a voice chat and stream and hang out. And yeah, I think you should go join the AwesomeCast Discord. It's a cool place with cool people.
It's true. We also do have I don't have any like dedicated like Chronicle like sections. We do have a 14 thread because that's how I've been trying to delineate. Like if there's a lot of video game talk about one video game, I make a thread and people can talk about that in the thread to try to keep things somewhat remotely. It doesn't work organized, but I might do some more Discord streaming. I've been mostly doing my streaming on Twitch because I am trying to do the whole Twitch thing.
Yeah.
Because it's something to do, and I need to do something with my life. So.
And speaking of the way we mix things up, like, I mean, hell, Dylan, sometimes co-host on this podcast, Aldrich Greywind on 14, like, he's got a regular Ryutama game. Like I wouldn't say it's a D&D game. It's like a traditional RPG. But, like, they do that every week. And I know they've been interested in doing other types of games through people in the Discord. So again, it's a cool place for a lot of different fandoms and stuff to come together, and it's pretty active.
Yeah. In fact, it's so active that Anna kind of ignores it because it's too active and she has to work.
That's fair. But I mean, we have different shifts and stuff, so come in at night if you want.
It's true. Yep. No, I highly recommend joining the AwesomeCast Discord. It is a cool place for cool people, and clearly, if you're listening, you have to be a cool person too. So you should absolutely join it. And by you, I'm going to call out quick, so I know you listen to these episodes because you've mentioned, oh yeah, it was a good episode, guys, and I'm like, thank you, we really appreciate it. No, seriously, if you ever listen to these episodes, please let us know. It is something so rare to hear that someone listens to your podcast. It is one of the most rarest things to get. And so it absolutely makes, I know, my day every time it happens.
Completely agree.
Now I'm just talking to talk. So until next time, never forget, you tank that bone dragon up north.